He most well-known jail escape in history. San Francisco Bay contains the island of Alcatraz. It served as a maximum security prison from 1934 to 1963. The island served as a base for 1,576 convicts. During the 29 years that Alcatraz was in use as a federal prison, several known criminals were incarcerated, including Al Capone, Robert Franklin Stroud, George Machine Gun Kelly, James J. Bulger and Alvin Karpis. Alcatraz Island is an island located in the San Francisco Bay 1.19 miles from the port of San Francisco in California in the western United States. There are 4 cell blocks in the prison. Block A was never used during the years when Alcatraz was a federal prison. Block B and C, with a total of 336 cells, were used for the common prisoners. In Block D has 42 cells. Rebellious prisoners were held in here. The famous escape. In Donaldsonville, Seminole County, John Anglin and his brother Clarence Anglin were born. George Robert Anglin and Rachel Van Anglin were his parents. There were 14 children in the big household. 7 boys and 7 girls. The family lived in Donaldsonville while the kids were growing up before relocating to Florida. Every May, John and Clarence traveled to Michigan to gather cherries for the family's financial benefit. They picked up how to swim in frigid water there. John Anglin, along with his brothers Clarence and Alfred, robbed a bank in Columbia, Alabama, on January 17, 1958. With the help of a toy gun, and they stole $19,000. To make sure no one would be hurt, they typically robbed places that were closed at the time. They were taken into custody 5 days later in Hamilton, Ohio, and given a 35-year jail term. John was sent to a prison in Leavenworth, Kansas, after making an attempt to break out of the Atlanta State Penitentiary. He was sent to Alcatraz, the most secure jail in the U.S., after attempting another attempt to flee there. He entered as prisoner AZ-1476 on October 21, 1960. And his brother Clarence did the same on January 10, 1961. The Anglin brothers came up with a complex plan for an escape attempt in September 1961 with the help of fellow prisoners Frank Morris and Alan West, whom they both knew from Atlanta. The bank robbers vanished from their cells in Alcatraz prison on an island in San Francisco Bay on the evening of June 11, 1962. The 3 homemade dolls that had grown in the guards' mattresses prevented them from noticing the missing individual for hours. The trio had already departed when they were found early the next morning. What happened? They had taken kitchen tools and had piecemeal excavated a tunnel. That evening, they escaped the structure through the prison's drainage system. There has never been a complete explanation of what took next. The 3 probably created a makeshift raft out of raincoats and other materials to escape the prison island. It's never been established whether that risky passage was accomplished. Many people believe that the trio perished while attempting to flee the ocean since it is frigid and has strong currents. On the other hand, several people are adamant that they managed to escape and have been free of the police ever since. Less than a year after the breakout, Alcatraz was shut down, and their remains have never been located. Consequently, many people's imaginations are still captured by the escape after all these years. Every now and again, fresh proof that the 3 are still alive appears. As when John Anglin, one of the escapees, is said to have written a letter that the San Francisco police received 4 years ago. He is reportedly in terrible condition and seeking a settlement with the legal system in exchange for medical assistance. The matter was revisited, but no charges were brought. A photo appears. Perhaps a few years earlier. Then a picture of the Anglin brothers appeared online. A forensic specialist received the photograph, which was supposedly taken in Brazil in 1975, from a retired police officer. He came to the conclusion that the two males in the picture are quite likely the two brothers who fled. However, it was also fruitless. On December 31, 1979, the FBI formally ended its 17-year investigation. Their judgment: the escaping trio's continued existence is not supported by any credible evidence. The U.S. Marshals Service, a federal law enforcement agency under the control of the U.S. Department of Justice, was given charge of the missing individual. Since this week, the new aging images have been on California's most sought list. According to Sky News, they were developed by professionals at the FBI's federal investigation and published by the U.S. Department of Justice. They ought to depict Frank Morris and the two Anglin brothers in some way. If all three are still living, they would currently be in their 90s. The U.S. Marshals appear to be continuing their search, though. Anyone with knowledge regarding the escape is being urged to contact them. Other fugitives should be cautioned by the ongoing probe. They write 60 years later, whatever the time, we will continue to seek for you and bring you to justice. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like my video.